Sounds like realtor.
Okay, we are live on social media, and we will be going live on radio at 20 seconds to.
All right, rock and roll, baby.
All right.
It'll go fast. Next thing you know, you'll be like, "That was it." You'll be like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do another one. Let's play two.
That's right.
We
I like
are
it.
live.
Everybody's got
And welcome to 216 The Net. You are caught in the net with the Neighborhood Pulse with Kevin and Eddie. Now, I am not Eddie. Eddie is not here today. I had some business, which is a good thing.
Amen.
And we've got a special guest today, Mike Whelan. So let's
Great to be here.
make a run, the Neighborhood Pulse with Kevin Callback.
Yep,
Mike Whelan, myself, Coach Papa.
Coach Papa, that's it. Looking for get some money, give the coach a call. That's it. Mike Whelan is here today from Social Indoor. Social Indoor is just an amazing tool to help market, to advertise, to get to know people better. Tell me a little bit about Social Indoor.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me today, Kevin. I really appreciate it. So Social Indoor is an advertising company. We're kind of unique in a way. What we do is we help brand companies, help raise awareness for companies. But the way we do it is a little unique. We place advertising in bathrooms of bars, restaurants, sports facilities, health clubs,
Sure.
Anywhere there's a good amount of traffic in that particular area. And we place them strategically so that we have a captive audience for our clients' advertising.
There you go. There you go. It's you're definitely, they're not paying attention to much at that point.
Right.
So you're kind of focusing on what's in front of them, right?
One of those few moments in our day when you really are not doing anything else. You're not staring at your phone. You're not talking to anybody. You're not.
Yeah.
I know several years ago, one of the local establishments put a newspaper up there.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But it always made me a little bit concerned that I was going in. Were they actually turning the page of the newspaper?
Right.
It was.
Don't turn the page.
No, don't turn the page. But one of the things I've noticed, because I've obviously seen that, I've known you for several years, is when I go in that there's a timing cycle. Is there a lot of research goes into that, or is it just basically this advertiser, I want 15 seconds or I want 6 seconds? Is that tied in more to what they want to invest in the advertising? Or
Yeah, that's a great question. So, and that brings up the point that we do have both print, which is static advertisement in a frame,
Sure.
and then we have digital that has just a short 1 minute cycle of ads. So that most of the time when you're in there, you will see every ad. That's kind of why I came up with that number. But if you the studies that have been done, and this changes over the years, but right now the attention span of us here in this country, American citizens, is 7.5 seconds.
Well, there you go.
And that's kind of where I started from, and I stretched it out to 10 seconds. I felt just a little more time.
Right.
So I usually run like 5 or 6 10-second ads in a loop.
well, as a speaker, the attention span is longer, but to get into the longer attention span, you only have that 5 to 10 seconds to get people to listen, or pay attention,
engage,
to engage. Even in the social media stuff, if you're not doing something exciting right away, they're like, "Oh, next."
Yeah, scroll right by. Yeah, you got to have that some sort of hook to keep them there.
What is the most unique ad you've got running right now?
The most unique ad.
That's
That's a good question.
The one we're creating is the one.
Yes, it's to come. We were just talking about it. I like full motion video ads. A lot of folks have a video that was made for them by somebody, and they had some use for it, probably on social media or something like that. And suddenly they have this video that maybe they don't know what to do with. So we'll take it and we'll take highlights from it and put it into their ad. So right now we have a great place called Battle House Laser Combat in in Barrington, and they've got all sorts of footage of people playing laser tag. They have a very complex, cool place. And just video of these guys running around with these guns and the headgear and everything
It's
like
crazy,
that. So
yeah,
so you can say, hey, we're laser tag, and everybody has their own idea what laser tag is.
Yep.
But you can actually see it. You can say, well, that's not the kiddie laser tag. This looks a lot cooler. So that's why I like that.
When I was in the Army, we actually used a system called MILES, Multiple Integrated Laser Engagement System.
Wow.
It is the parent of the current, when I was out training in the infantry, I thought, wow, this would be something cool that I, could have made $1 million on. But
you didn't run with it.
And I didn't. Ted Legal checked in, Legal Legacy
Awesome.
Home and Business Services, saying, hey, what a cool concept, guys.
Hey,
it's
cool.
not our concept, it's his.
Yes,
so.
yes.
Yeah, well.
So you started, how many years have you been doing this now?
14 years.
14 years.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a transition there. And I know when we first started, it was all paper.
Yes.
And then we transitioned into video, and that video has really grown too, because it used to be, so much technology today.
Mm-hmm.
Things are so enhanced and moving so fast. And some of those ads that you put together are just amazing. Now, do you put those together yourself? Or do the client have to bring the material with? How does that work? How do they get an ad put together?
It can go either way, but
Right.
99% of my clients, we do the creative for them because they just don't have that in house, right?
Like me.
Like yours, when we had the virtual tour. Is
Right.
that the
Yeah.
correct term?
Yeah, virtual
right?
tour.
Yeah,
Mhm,
we did a
sure.
virtual tour in your digital. So you had that already.
Mhm, I did.
You supply that to us, and then we design the ad and incorporate that video. So whether it's just a static ad, a print ad, we'll design that. If we're going to put some animation or video into it,
Sure.
we usually do that for people.
Right.
Let's turn that off because I was just checking this on Facebook. We talked about this earlier. What, in your mind, is the most effective form of advertising? Kevin and I both have our cars wrapped with Coach Pop on the outside.
Right.
We've got the big billboards out here.
Yeah.
We've got the social indoor.
Mm-hmm.
We got print. There's so many forms of marketing today.
Sure.
And I know, obviously, you believe social indoor is one of the top, but how effective is advertising today versus 15, 20 years ago?
Well, obviously, there's been a ton of change. When I first started this, it was right before the iPhone came out. So there was no iPhone. So there was obviously a lot of change since then.
Sure.
But I've always been a big proponent of just having a good mix. Like, don't do just one thing.
Right.
Have a mix, because the more ubiquitous, if you will, you are. So in other words, you've got a car wrap.
Right.
So I see your car all the time. We were talking about this earlier.
Right. Sure.
I wouldn't know it was you unless it was wrapped.
Right.
I mean, so, and then you realize how often you see somebody's car.
Right. That's right.
And then, you might see a billboard with your name on it. And then hopefully, when we do our bathroom thing, you see this name all over, and and the more contact points from different areas you can get, the more it's going to stick.
Right.
So the thing is, get a good mix, but then stick with it.
Sure.
Because the minute you change from this to this, you lost that entire audience that used to see you here. And all of a sudden there may be something that replaced you in their brain there.
Right.
And then you're over here. So this audience starts to kind of figure it out. So if you have a nice mix, people see you in different places, whether it's on their phone, on your car, whatever it might be, it just works best.
Right now, we've got your website for those who are watching us on social media.
Yeah.
They get a little view of Social Indoor. If they're looking to connect with you, can they do it right through this website, socialindoor.com?
Sure. Yeah. Socialindoor.com has contacts for all the different markets. I think we have maybe 60 or 70 markets right now across the country.
Okay.
But you can find, you'd hit the contact us, basically. You put in your zip code, and if it's in this area, I'll get it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I was asking you earlier, I says, I forgot what I said, but I said something really cool earlier.
Why are you so good looking?
I said, my goodness, is marketing today, we work together, and I asked
Yep.
if you do have a success story, and I said, well, shoot, I'm a success story because I've used your marketing, and the outpouring that we've gotten, and the people that have taken pictures of themselves next to my ad
Sure.
and sent it to me via social media, via text messages and such, was just crazy. So I'm like, wow, how do you pass this up, right?
Mhm.
And it's in the areas, in the towns that you want to get known, right?
Sure.
So McHenry, if I live in McHenry, I work in McHenry, so I do marketing in McHenry, and therefore I'm hitting the right audience, right? So that you kind of direct people where their marketing should be.
Sure. If you want to pinpoint, so what we can do is target two ways in very direct targeting. So the first way and the most obvious way is by gender. So if you advertise, let's say you advertise on the radio, nothing wrong with the radio, but you're paying
Let's-
for
let's
you're,
hope not.
you're paying for men and women, everybody's
Right.
right. That's how you pay.
Yeah,
You pay
absolutely.
by readership, viewership, whatever.
Right.
If you advertise with us, if you only want to advertise to men, then we don't put you in the women's room. Therefore, you don't pay for the women's room.
Right.
So you're not paying for a gender you're not even
Right.
trying to contact. So
Sure.
I have salons and spas that aren't after men, so they only advertise in women's room. Why pay for the men's room? Why pay for both? So,
Right.
So there's that. And then the other side of that is it like with you, if you say I want to be in McHenry, Crystal Lake, and Algonquin, that's all we put you in.
Right.
You want to be in Woodstock, you be in Woodstock. You want to be in
Right.
Wakanda, Wakanda.
Sure.
You want to be in Elgin. We can
Yeah.
put you to where it most likely is going to work for you. So we don't just
Sure.
blanket this huge area.
Right.
We just put you in the area where.
Right. We talked
So-
strategy
Yeah.
before. We've talked
Sure.
about, where do we want to be? Where do we want to show up?
Yeah.
What are we going to incorporate in addition to, like you said, multi-point marketing is
Yeah.
really the way to go. The radio, then you've got your marketing, and then then you reach out to people and they're like, I know this guy somehow, right?
Yeah.
And they get that name and face recognition. That's
Yeah.
how politicians do it too.
Yeah.
They spend billions of dollars on marketing to get known with a message that may or may not reflect who they are.
Repeat.
Mhm. Right.
Now, so this is truly a European model then. If European, you're probably seeing indoor.
European
marketing.
model. Yeah. All right. I have permission to use that, right?
Absolutely.
There'll be royalties, but yeah.
That's it. The intro music was in honor of Meatloaf, who passed
Meatloaf.
away today.
Meatloaf.
Sorry for that.
R.I.P.
loss.
Meatloaf. Yeah.
And your joke reminded me of Louis Anderson passed away as well
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
Sorry
that's,
for both of those.
I being involved in insurance over the years in different areas, I took a good hard look at the mortality table, and I found out it's 100%.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
right. That's right.
All of us are going to check out sometime.
Yeah.
What have you done up until that day? And Meatloaf, Louis Anderson, these type of Betty White. We just lost
Right.
Betty White
Absolutely.
Right.
recently.
Yeah.
What have they done with their life, and how many people have they impacted, and have they used their influence properly? And these guys, I really believe they have.
Yeah, for sure.
On that day, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
That's it.
have a celebration of life this weekend for a lady, a good friend, Lois Ryan, who really had an impact on me personally. She was one of these really soft-spoken. What if you tried it this way?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you knew if you didn't try it that way, you'd
Yeah.
hear about it. So
Yeah. It wasn't a
was,
suggestion.
yeah, it came in the form of a suggestion, but it was really quite leadership. But yeah, for all the Meatloaf fans out there,
Louis
a
Anderson,
sad
Betty
day.
White.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Madden, right?
John
He just
Madden.
went too.
Yeah. A lot of big names of people that I enjoyed. So it
Yeah.
sucks,
But
but
rough.
the nice thing is you're saying, what have you done with your life? And today, I always like to call Fridays, and I steal this from Moody, is Freedom Friday. This is your time to break loose, break that mold, break who you are, become who you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
and get out there and do things. And marketing is one of those things. Become who you want to be, and do it however you can do it to be successful. And I think your marketing really paints that picture because it's fun, it's effective, it's just a neat thing to do that paints a different picture. And it gives you an opportunity. And it's affordable. That's the biggest thing, is it's not a fortune
Right.
to market, right?
Right. Yeah.
So on average, can you give like a guesstimation of what something like that? If somebody says, "Hey, you know what? I want to market."
Right. Right. So again, it's pretty flexible
right.
and controllable. Like we talked about, if you just want to advertise in within a 5-mile radius. Let's say you're a hair salon or something, and you probably don't want to advertise 15 miles away because it's probably not realistic. There's probably 30 salons between you and 15 miles away. So
Right.
It's not realistic. So you can advertise just, within a 3 mile radius, whatever. We've got places all over. So that might be a budget of, $225 a month. Saturate that little 5 mile, radius.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So then it goes up from there. You want, if you want, a larger area,
Right.
Some people want a few towns.
Right.
Some folks want, if you're a larger company, maybe you want to hit the whole county,
Right.
or you want to hit the whole, kind of northwest suburbs.
Yeah.
It's really based on reach.
Right.
What makes sense for your business.
Right. So it's affordable. This is what we're trying to say.
You know what that sound means?
Come in.
It is
time for your mortgage
for
minute,
the mortgage
baby.
minute.
Oh, nice.
We talk about, and kind of part of the topic today is where you're going to find your next house. And how many of us have gone out and shopped for a house? You're like, oh man, that's a great house. I'd love to have that house. And you go in and you do all the work only to find that you're not qualified for that house. You don't have the credit scores not high enough.
Right.
Your income to debt ratios, there's things. So pre-qualification is an important step when you're getting ready to move. Obviously, finding the right realtor is
Sure.
also right up there. Finding the right mortgage people like at McHenry Savings Bank,
Correct.
the mortgage department, where I and the founder of the station, Kent, both happen to work. But going through the pre-approval process to find out just what it is available to you. And it's as simple as contacting your mortgage person. If you got somebody in your life, that's great. If you don't, you're willing to reach out to us. We've got a pre-approval process that we can take you through and just find out, okay, I can go up to $350,000, and that's going to keep you from driving through the $750,000 neighborhood to say, oh, that's a great house, only
Sure.
to disappoint your wife. And she, I
Right.
really love that house, So before you, once you've made the decision, it's time to move or time to find the right house, contact a good real estate agent, one that comes highly recommended, like a Kevin Callback
Thank you.
in our world, and a good mortgage company also that would come highly recommended from your friends or family, and get through a pre-approval so that you make sure that you're getting in the home that you can afford as quickly and efficiently as possible. So there it is, the mortgage minute.
Beautiful.
Nice. Was it a minute?
It was 37 seconds.
Oh, you got time.
That's right.
Stretch.
That's it. And then, so we were at talking about captivation and the ads and the range and the reach and the cost and the affordability and such. And being affordable is key, because even postcards, send them out so I use marketing for number of different ways.
Sure.
And postcards are expensive for $225. I can't send a whole lot of postcards.
And the return rate today on postcards is even lower. I mean, it was traditionally a 1 to 1.5% return rate, and I believe it's much lower than that right now. And if postcards are your thing, that's great. But what a postcard really does is another one of those touches, as you said.
Right.
I see it on a billboard, I see it in a phone book, I see it on a toilet stall, and I see it in a postcard. It's one more touch.
Right.
But when we get to the most effective touches, it's, in my mind, isn't probably one of them. It's a reminder
Right.
of who you are. And let's, if you put a calendar on there or you attach 2 Bears tickets to it or something,
Well,
it might have a little more. But
yeah, right. Coupons and such, right? So yeah, postcards, they say, right in the garbage, right? So it is a quick flash where here's 6, 7, 10 seconds, depending on the ad, right?
Right.
Which is kind of cool. Gives you some time.
Yeah, that's the whole idea behind it, is it's the captive nature of it.
Right.
And it's captive at a time of,
When
in
you're-
your day when
you're European.
you're European.
That's right.
You always want to be European.
That's
We
right.
can set you up. But yeah, you really don't have much going, on in your mind. It's not like you're,
Right.
something
for
you've
sure.
done a million times. So you're just kind of standing there, nothing else to do, or sitting
That's
there.
it.
And
I think it's good advertising, because when you go there, it's there, right? And it's great stuff. The reach is 10 seconds versus a 3-second postcard view, definitely worth more value for sure.
mhm.
And you're not only located here, but you're across the United States, like we kind of talked about. So if
Yeah.
somebody's like, well, I'm in Idaho or I'm in Florida or
Yeah.
Alaska,
Yeah.
they could still go to Social Indoor, or can they call you? What's the best?
So again, the Social Indoor website
Okay.
actually has a map page that shows all of our markets, so you can see if there's a market currently in your area.
Right.
But you can just hit the contact us page and put in your contact info, your zip code or town, and they'll set you up with whoever's in your area.
Okay. So we talked about, you guys kind of help set up that ad. They bring you some of the material. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just bring you a logo and their picture and phone number, and they say, what can we do?
Yeah.
Do you have a marketing team, design team? I don't know what we would refer to them as.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple graphic designers, and really basically what we need is a logo.
Mhm.
And if you have some images, that's fine. A lot of times we will use images that we have that correlate to the business.
Sure.
But as far as design, background and graphics and stuff like that, we pretty much do all that.
You do everything. Okay.
Yeah, that's
So-
what they do.
Right.
When I first started in this, I would have these grandiose ideas, and I tell my designer, "Let's do this," and they'd send it back and whatever. And then a couple times I think I said I didn't have time to think about it, so I'm like, "Here, make him an ad," and it'd come back, and it was like way better than anything I would have thought. So I thought, why am I telling these
That's
people
right.
how to do their job?
Well, that
I
comes
should
back
just
to-
send them. Here's the information. Make an ad.
Being all things to all people, it's not cable. You're really good at sales. I've known you for quite a long time. You're good at connecting and building relationships and moving forward.
Thank you.
And if you're really good at that, then why are you wasting your time
Exactly.
designing something?
Yeah.
Which
I'm not good at.
I can do that, but that's such a waste of my time. Several years ago, a coach of mine said, you have $100 task and you have $10 task. And most people spend their time on their $10 task because, well, they're easy, they're in their comfort
Sure.
zone.
Mhm.
But the money's made with the $100 task.
Yeah.
So finding someone to take care of those smaller tasks so
Mhm.
that you can go out and do the real thing, make the real money, have the most impact. So
Yeah, great.
that's a great concept. I like the way you're doing it, and then having the people, Social Indoor has everything, but it has a team. It has a quarterback, a running back, a wide
Mhm.
receiver. It's got everything in place to really help you be effective. And it sounds like it's really affordable.
I mean, it is. Advertising is expensive,
Yes, yeah.
and I think our product is reasonable, and I think it's a fantastic value for what you get.
Right,
The amount of exposure that you get with it, and the amount of frequency is everything. You need to see an ad over and over and over. And people that go out are going to see it over the mic.
Is there one industry that is more successful with Social Indoor than another, or one that kind of stands out to you?
I would. What I've never had a lot of luck with, let's start with that, is online businesses, like straight online businesses.
Yeah.
That's all they do. So a lot of retail, brick and mortar type of places, people that are out in the community, as you're part of the community, as opposed to part of the as opposed to trying to market to the entire world. Like you got some sort of gadget that you're trying to sell online to the
Sure.
whole world.
Right.
That's not really a good fit.
Right.
But stuff that's active people, because most people that see these ads are socially active, and they have disposable income. So people that want to look good, let's say, any sort of salons, spas, weight loss, exercise, anything like that. People are out about and they want to look good. People that want to have fun because they're out. So we have a lot of
Girls just want to. Oh, I'm sorry.
You can go ahead and finish.
Meatloaf didn't sing it. We'll stay away from it.
But like the like laser tag, like something like that, skydiving, just a lot of different things.
I see a lot of plumbers and contractors in there.
Mhm.
It seems like that's also
Well, I think businesses that are highly competitive do well too, because like if you take it for advantage of plumber, let's say, and if you are a plumber, most people are going to find you by, let's say, Googling. They Google plumbers, right? And all
Do you hear that?
a little
Good.
bit
Okay.
feedback. Yeah. You have whatever, 40,000 plumbers, you've got to have your SEO. So you're
Right.
not at the bottom of that. Right.
Right.
Or Google AdWords, or, all these things are important. But the other thing is you want to be recognized.
Right.
And that's what we do. We help you get recognized, build brand awareness, so that when they call up that plumber, they say, oh, I'm a plumber in town, or All Pro Plumbing that's advertised with me for a long time. They recognize, oh, All Pro Plumbing, I know them. Doesn't even matter how they know of them.
Right.
It's just, I've heard of them, so I'm going to click on them.
Yep.
It's just how we associate.
Well, another plumbing, and you're using plumbing, so it's it's
it runs
another.
hand in hand.
It really is a good match.
You mentioned something else earlier, when we were in the green room. I think you asked the question of the difference between branding and marketing, or
It was branding and marketing. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think we covered that a little bit, right?
we just what is just a clear definition? Because everybody talks about build your brand, and marketing. Where do the two come together? What's the
Well, I see branding as a component of your marketing mix.
Right.
Marketing can be your logo. It's everything. It's all encompassing. It can be your logo, all these important things. Your logo, kind of your message. What your message is going to be. What your unique proposition is going to be.
Sure.
And why you're different. And so all those things come together. It has to do with, if you're a store, what your store looks like, how it's laid out,
Right.
how how you train your staff, kind of your overall feel of the place. So it's a lot. It's kind of the all encompassing. And a part of that is advertising. And part of advertising is our way of advertising is branding. Yeah. We're going to brand your business. We're going to get people to recognize your name.
Right. So when they think realtor, they think Kevin Callback. When they
Absolutely.
think loans, McHenry Savings Bank.
Yeah.
And the message that for branding is the message you're sending, right? It's kind of like your why or your tag, your kind of communication. If you this realtor communicates. Bang.
His
Mhm.
real name is
Drives it.
John Smith. He just created Kevin Callback because
Right. That's
I'm
right.
going to call you back.
Right.
It's,
Yeah. Works perfect.
And it's his real name is Kevin Callback. For
That's
those
right.
of you who take me seriously.
We'll
Yeah,
call
right.
you back.
Yeah. Sooner or later.
Always calls back.
That is crazy. So businesses come by, and we talked about budget. We talked about a little bit about branding. We talked about hitting people a number of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the length of the ads. Length was 6 seconds, 10 seconds,
10 seconds
10 seconds
on the
okay.
digital, right?
Okay.
The print is however long it takes you to do your thing.
That's right.
Everybody's a little
Or
different.
how good the story is.
Yeah, right.
Right. That's kind of crazy. It's right.
Have you ever had anyone say, advertise their own establishment within their facilities? For example, I know you're in a couple of bar restaurants here in town,
Mm-hmm.
and let's just take one, and you go in and you're watching advertisements, and it said, if you come out and say this word, you'll get a free drink, or you'll get a
Like relate it to
right. You're in my
like
establishment.
you might have an ad. Not the bar doesn't have an ad, but you have an ad in this bar, and put on there, if you say this when you come out, tell the bartender this, you get a free beer.
All Pro Plumbing said they're going to buy me a beer.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, I haven't done that. I mean, I kind of like that concept, but it's going to cost you a little money if you're buying everybody a beer.
So I'll get some royalty back on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
let's keep track of all these royalties.
Yeah, right.
It's hard. It's hard to. I know a few of them are in Canada, and a couple of them are.
Right.
Right.
It'll be a tax nightmare.
And then again, if they want to get a hold of you, how do they do that best?
So call me anytime, 815-382-5470. On socialindoor.com, like I was saying before, hit the contact us page and it'll get to me, or just mike.wieland@socialindoor.com.
So there's a lot. Coaches asked me how do you spell Wieland earlier. Is it W-I-E? W?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of different ways. So we keep it easy. Wheel, WHEEL, and AND.
And a .com.
Yeah. Mike.Wieland. At socialindoor.com.
Social
Yeah.
Indoor.
But call me. I'd rather talk to you.
That's
Either
right.
way.
Absolutely.
And he'd like to call you back.
Absolutely. And
Exactly.
You have a lot of great ideas. I know when we sit down and we talk about it, you bring up things that I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea, right? So
Yeah.
where do you want to be? Do you want to be in the men's? Do you want to be in the women's? So you really have to take so people are coming to visit you. Those are things they can start thinking of. Is who is their audience? Where are they going to find their audience?
Yes.
And you're going to give them that direction. You're going to put them in the right place at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And so
With
for
the
people,
right message.
what is the time frame to create an ad? So somebody's like, oh my gosh, like realtors right now, we're kind of like, oh, it's already the end of January.
Yeah.
We should have been started marketing in November.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have to hold on to that answer because it's time for Kevin Callback
And our Realtor Minute here. So we have
Nice.
mortgage and realtor.
Right.
That's it. So today we're talking to buyers. Buyers, so the market for January has definitely started to move. Homes are coming on the market, and we're still seeing them move fairly quickly. Many above asking price. And so if you're in a budget and you're looking for a home, I think they want to let you know that the best time to look for a home is on a Wednesday, because Friday we put homes on the markets Thursday, Friday. For the weekend rush, they get bamboozled. We get a bunch of offers, and by Monday, Tuesday, it's sold. Right, so it's already under contract.
Huh.
So Wednesdays are the homes that maybe didn't get multiple offers. Maybe they didn't scoop off the market. Maybe you can get it for ask price or under. So we want you to look for homes. Like I said, Wednesdays, Thursdays are the best, and then we start putting homes back in the market again. That's our strategy. But a lot of people homes come on the market every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Wednesdays, if you're looking for homes that haven't gone under that frenzy of activity over the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to stay in a big budget. I think Wednesdays is your best day to start looking and get pre-approved from McHenry Savings Bank, who's not only in Illinois but all over.
all 50 states.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Excellent.
Awesome. There you go. Hopefully that was helpful for somebody somewhere.
Helpful for me. I never knew the Wednesday thing.
There you go.
Life hack here.
Life hack. There you go. Life
Yeah.
hack. I was looking for that word the other day. I couldn't. I was like, that's it. So somebody says, man, I should have started marketing 2 months ago.
Sure.
How quick can you get me out there?
So we can usually turn around a proof on an ad within 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then that proof, would go back to the customer for approval, and maybe we tweak it a little bit after that. But usually 4 or 5 days, we've got an ad done and approved, and then we put. So our most of our campaigns run the first week of the month is when we put everything up. We do have with the digital, we do have some abilities to, because that's all put up from a laptop, put out onto.
That is pretty
Onto
cool.
I just got a text from my electrician. He just installed right now. He just got done installing it, the Rookies in Roselle.
Oh, really?
So as soon as I'm done here, I'll jump on my laptop and throw some ads up there.
That's awesome.
But
I love Rookies, by the way.
Rookies is good. Yeah. So in that, what the digital does for us in that way is if you have let's say an event coming up that maybe you don't want to advertise it for 6 weeks,
right,
or 6 months, but you want to go maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks out. If it's a concert or something,
Sure.
Something like that, just
Right.
an event, we can go and throw that on all our screens today and run it through, 2 weeks or 4 weeks or to the exact date of the concert. Boom, pull it off. With the print, we don't quite have that much
right.
leeway.
And you can program all those right from your laptop, no matter where you are.
Yeah, wherever, just click on the ones we want to have it in,
Perfect.
and it just goes right in there immediately. So
It's amazing how technology has changed, because I know first it was just print and you had to physically go there and put up the ad
Right.
and cut it and get
Right.
it all nice in a frame and such. And then it was USB, or what do they call it?
Yeah,
Memory
yeah,
card.
yeah,
right?
memory card, right?
You put it on a memory
Yeah,
card, go in
you
there, plug
remember.
it in, update it, right?
Yeah,
And if something changed or whatever, you ran to the store, your restaurant, bar,
Yeah.
bowling alley.
Yeah.
And then now it's sitting from the comfort of your home.
Just
Are
drop
majority
it
of
right on
places
there.
doing the digital, or what's your ratio, or what's the reasoning for people to do one or over the other?
sure. So again, I've been doing this 14 years, and,
Right.
and 12 of those were print. So
Yeah.
still most of it's print.
Yeah.
But I think with today's install, we'll have 72 digital screens up, and that
Okay.
that just keep growing. We got
When you
Other
say
restaurants.
72, is that 3 in this restaurant, 3 in that restaurant?
right. Yeah.
So-
Some have 2, some have 3, some have 1. We've just started to get into a more of a common area screen,
Right.
where we
Okay.
can take a 40 or 50-inch monitor and do the same thing, but it's in the common area
Hmm.
for just places like maybe a barber shop or something where the
Hot dog
bathroom
stand.
doesn't get used a lot, but there's a lot of people coming in. and
Sure.
out.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see those in the higher level hotels out there that they've got the event screens and stuff out
Exactly.
there. So any, you somebody wants to market to the male, they go in the male, female would go in the female. What about transgender issues? You don't have to answer that.
That is impacting the bathrooms these days. I mean, there's more and more units in the bathrooms, so it's just something you roll with and just.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
actually,
it's really part of. We have the new show coming up on Friday afternoons. We're live on Wednesdays. Two Bald Guys and Mike. Where
am I in it?
Oh, you can be.
Oh, okay.
But where I identify as a bald guy because in the original show I was bald for several years, but during the pandemic I let it grow, and now the boss won't let me shave it. And I'm not talking about Kent.
Yeah, right.
The real boss.
There's so many issues out here today. 12 years in print, you've made the transition into digital. What is the next coming phase? Do you think is there going to be an interactive screen, something you can talk to, something you can...
Right. Yeah, you never know what's going to be the next thing until it comes,
right?
But yeah, something where you could maybe delve into that particular ad a little bit more, with some sort of whatever glasses you're wearing that now do all this stuff, you wink or twitch or whatever, and also send you something to your glasses that are now.
Well, I get concerned if I step up to the urinal and it says, "Hi, Tim."
Good to see you again.
Wait just a second here.
I'll find out where you hang out. I'll just put that in there. It'll just come up every.
That's right.
Well, that would be at home. We're not.
All right. Well, we can get one in there.
That's it. Yeah. So the pandemic is it probably affected your business, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean there was a time there when everything was shut down,
right?
Which I stopped charging my customers because I can't charge your customer if nobody's in a bar.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, well, but we're back and everything is back to normal. I mean, it was rough for a lot of people.
Yeah.
During that time, and a lot of my my restaurant partners that I work with had it worse than me with all their overhead and everything. So it was a rough time, but
it is.
I don't know if you noticed, it was just on the news this morning that DeAndre's Banquets is closing down. DeAndre's is shutting down at the end of February.
Wow,
it's true.
Staffing issues is live events, which they depend on, is going down, and it's the world's we're going to react to it, and we are reacting to it.
Absolutely.
But as you talk, bars and restaurants are kind of your heavy hitters. What are some of the less obvious establishments that are using social indoor?
So bowling alleys. I mean, I don't have a lot of bowling alleys, but I probably have 10, something like that. So bowling alleys are great because people, go there and they hang out for 3 hours and they have a few drinks or whatever. So bowling alleys are great. And there's a demographic that goes to bowling alleys.
Right.
So I mean, I have, probably, some of the most expensive restaurants in the area, and then I have shot in a beer place. So what's your demographic? Who are you trying to advertise to? We can get, we can pinpoint by that. But back to your question, we've got some health clubs, sports facilities, indoor soccer, indoor hockey, indoor. I've got an indoor rollerblade place in Palatine. Cool. They've got 65 leagues. I didn't even know that 65 team league that plays there. It's packed. They have a huge bar in there. It's unbelievable.
You're talking about the roar thing where they skate around and knock each other off the...
No, not roller derby. Yes, no. This is roller blades, but they play hockey.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and a hockey rink that's made of not ice. I don't know what they make that out of. But
I'm just the old roller rink types of floor, I'm sure, but that's what an innovative concept for someone, because rollerblades and ice skates essentially work the same thing. You don't have to freeze the floor.
Right.
We have a show on called Innovative Strategies. So being innovative is those who lead the way often go. And I think that social indoor Gosh, Mike, I can't think when we first met. It has to be 10 to 12 years
Yeah,
now.
it's a long time.
And
Yeah.
just able to watch you grow within this world has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Absolutely. That's
Thank you.
Now, are we seeing a lot of? So I have a sign I put in front of homes. You want all the details and pictures. Text KK values to 59559.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using like those codes or QR codes? Are those becoming popular?
Yeah.
Are you talking about interacting with?
Yeah. And QR codes I've used for at least 10, 12 years. But back then, although they've been around a long time, I think Toyota originally started using them in their manufacturing long time ago. But anyway, people didn't know what they were when most people didn't know what they were.
Right. Yeah.
But now, actually, the pandemic kind of brought them back to life because there were a lot of restaurants that were putting their menu on a QR code. So you didn't have to touch a menu. You just scan it. Yeah. And then iPhones started enabling their camera to scan it instead of having to download an app and all this other stuff. So, more and more people, I always recommend putting a QR code on your ad. You hit that QR code with your phone and go right to their website.
Yeah.
You can download a business card. You can do all sorts of different things with it.
On my vehicle, you open the gas thing. There's a QR code there. You want to know the volume of your gas tank, the type of gas you should use.
Oh, yeah.
And there's QR codes all over my car now.
Is that right? Yeah. It's just a way to relay information.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
we're in the last 4 minutes, believe it or not. This is
wow.
This is
whizzing by.
We've had other guests on the show who it feels like 4 days, but
not on this show. His show we had that. No, we enjoyed all of our podcasts.
Not this show.
Not this show. I gotta make sure that's clear.
Yeah, this one always moves, and and Eddie and you really put together a great show with great topics all the time. So highly. What
Thank
other
you for filling in today.
Oh, you're welcome. Kid calls us the radio whores. We just kind of you got a seat, we're going to fill it.
There you go.
And that's our job. I'm an impromptu kind of guy. I can step in and have a lot of fun without doing a lot.
Yeah, I would say so. This isn't you. You don't do this every time.
No, I didn't know I was doing this until about 7 minutes before the show went on.
Wow. Yeah, you did a nice job. Looks like you do it every day.
That's
very nice.
But the point is, again, going back to Mike Whelan and Social Indoor, what a great concept. It's been around for a while. Everybody has to use a facility somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're in that moment of, we talked about this in the green room, vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
So their guard's down a little bit in more ways than one.
Yeah. And
I think it's what a great concept to go in. I know, Kevin, I've seen your advertisements.
Yeah.
In there.
Absolutely.
So it's great partnerships that you've made throughout the chamber, throughout the McHenry County area. So.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
appreciate
I
that.
think it's socialindoor.com. It can't get any easier than that.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And I'm a success story. I'm telling you, these ads work. So if you're a business owner, I hate to say it, if you're a realtor, you should use this because I don't want the competition, but it is a great opportunity. And I'm not in all markets, so I definitely recommend it for anybody that's in business looking to grow their business to use Social Indoor. That's 10 seconds that somebody's got your ad directly in front of them. It doesn't come with a postcard. There's a lot of media that this doesn't touch or doesn't get that type of exposure. And people are reaching out to you because they find it funny. They find it exciting. Oh my gosh.
Unexpected.
Yeah. Unexpected.
Yeah. Kind of catch them, when they're just open. They always say people are open to new ideas when they're relaxed. And that's about as relaxed as you get unless you're sleeping.
That's right.
and again, I've coined it as the European method.
It is the European. Again, the checks will be coming.
Perfect. I appreciate that.
Paying royalties.
You've been caught in the net. Kevin, last minute thoughts for your listeners? I know a lot of them look forward to.
I'll tell you, this is it. If you're thinking about buying or selling a house, call your local realtor and start that process because we're already way into the market. It's kicking off full speed another month from now, and it's going to be amazing. So Kevin, call back at 708-277-3913. We got Mike Whelan here, Social Indoor. Contact him at 815-382-5470.
And if you're looking for a mortgage to tie this all together, just reach out to me, Tim Stewart, Coach Papa, McHenry Savings Bank at 815-331-6425. Or just find Coach Papa on the internet. I'm all over the place.
That's right.
There's a couple of shows I'd like you to take some time and watch. Check out Two Ball Guys and Mike Friday afternoon at 5:00. And Yeah, tonight in just a few hours. And then Civil Tension from this morning. Look for the replays on that. Same guest on both shows, Dr. Stan Harris, Dr. Breakthrough. What a motivational, inspirational guy. You're coming to the net. We're just trying to make a difference, one listener at a time.
Tell a friend, tell a neighbor.
Tell a
That's
friend,
for
tell your
sure.
wife, tell your mother.
Socialindoor.com.
And a little
And
more
they'll get to
meatloaf
Mike.
to
Middle
take us.
meatloaf, take us out. Take us home, baby.
Yeah.
For this